All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So we're in Long Saddle, if everybody remembers.
Mm.
Um, and I believe everybody went to bed for the night, in the Gilded Horseshoe,
Yes.
and it's now morning. So what do people want to do in Long Saddle?
Did anything happen in the night?
Um, things happened in the night before y'all left. Um,
Okay.
see, I believe it was Boots and Linus both had a friendly visitor. So.
I remember that. I just didn't know if anything happened this night.
Yeah, that was last time.
Oh, was it the night before? I thought that was the same night. Maybe I misremembered. I thought that was the night in the Gilded Horseshoe.
No.
Maybe you mentioned it. I don't remember it. Sorry.
You mentioned a visitor that at the end of the night last time we played.
Did we? Okay. I didn't remember. That was my
If I
fault.
didn't, then there's no new
It was
visitor.
it was like right before you came on. I said, "Okay, guys, what I miss?"
Gotcha. Sorry. Yeah, I was kind of vanished.
Oh yeah. But yeah, nothing else happened at the Gilded Horseshoe.
That's cool. Okay. Uh-oh.
It's a brand new morning in the 200-ish, 250-ish people small town.
There it is. I was looking for my notepad. Okay. That's what I was trying to get earlier. It's early morning.
It's early morning.
Boot sits down to a nice breakfast.
I sit down next to my turtle friend.
Nice. It's breakfast is pretty cheap. It's a copper for breakfast.
Cool.
My brain said we were.
I'll be nice and I'll buy me and Boots breakfast.
Oh. I put my turtle hands together and I do a small bow sitting next to Gurkle and say thank you. So
Yeah, no problem. I'll mention.
we're sitting down to breakfast.
Yep. What is everybody else doing right now? Jimmy, Maddie, and Bo.
Is the sun out?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna stay inside. I don't want to go out there. I will join them for breakfast.
Delicious.
One copper. It is
I'm gonna
they have
sleep
the concept of continental breakfast, included continental breakfast, hasn't been invented yet. So.
Mhm.
So it's gruel. Okay, cool.
No, it's just not complimentary.
Well, I thought you said continental breakfast. So
I did say continental breakfast. I mean, it's not gonna have continental breakfast in D&D, but
why not? I'm sure you can find a continental breakfast somewhere. Maybe not in this small town, maybe in a big town, but I'm sure there's a continental breakfast somewhere.
Continental breakfast. Doesn't that just mean a handful of fruit?
it's a lighter breakfast. Yeah, it's less like English breakfasts or American breakfasts. It's like it's basically like breads and fruit.
It's like a Reese's fast break.
You know what? Sure.
I know the only time I've ordered it, it was just like a bunch of different melons, and they were like, "Here you go."
Yeah, it's just baked goods, jam, fruit, and coffee. You find
Just
it
as
all.
much melon as they can
simple.
stuff on a plate.
You find
Simple.
it. You find it in southern France and the Mediterranean areas. I mean, it's
And most best westerns.
the most best Western.
And most of well, yeah,
Except
the
except
French.
they
Best Western is a French company, right?
Best Western has
I-
that pancake machine that automatically makes pancakes for you.
It does.
We're getting a little distracted, but yeah.
There is no pancake machine at the Gilded Horseshoe.
Oh,
What?
Oh,
Oh, I want my 1 copper back then.
We gotta get Kane back here to open up his leg to have that pancake machine in it.
Open up his leg.
I'm concerned by the way he opens up his leg for a pancake.
He's like a Swiss Army knife. He's got compartments.
Compartments.
That's like the one with the little hamster.
She gives you a small for breakfast. She walks over and gives you a small let's see. Make sure I get this right. She gives you a small bar, chocolate bar, with a peanut butterish filling inside, with a layer of some type of nougat.
Whoa! This is getting out of control.
I love you so much.
Oh shit!
What is
Boots
that
has never
supposed to be?
tasted anything this delicious in his life.
What is that supposed to be? Because it sounds horrible.
It's Reese's Fast Break, Bo. He gave us Reese's Fast Breaks.
Sounds horrible.
Oh my god, Reese's Fast Breaks. Oh my god, that's funny.
They're better than the Reese's Nutrageous.
I love why you looked it up.
That
I
sounds
did...
horrible.
Okay. So yeah.
All right. So yeah, y'all had a great filling breakfast. You feel ready to take on the day more than you ever have, all
Ever.
due to Reese's Fast Break.
You better be careful. That's they may try to monetize this video.
We're
No,
not,
we can get, we're not
we're
sponsoring
not
them.
sponsored, but we could be.
But we could be.
Yep.
Shout out Reese's.
Yeah, I was gonna say Reese's, if you're watching, feel free to hit us up.
For a hearty meal of your D&D characters, remember choose.
I love it.
The chocolate covered quick break.
I love it.
No, the quick crack. I like it. We're going with it.
Crack. Beautiful.
Quick crack.
Start your
Quick
morning.
whack.
It's a crack.
When normal crack is too slow for you.
Part away. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Anywho,
What
I'm
what y'all
just
doing? You're the band Disturbed?
Yeah, I am. Make a lot
Nice.
So Shekel slept in, you said?
Yeah.
Oh no, Shekel missed
Ooh, she's gonna cry
the
about
breakfast.
it. Continental, that's her favorite.
No, breakfast is
Oh,
the most
crap.
important meal of the day. You can't miss it.
Serving it up Gary's way.
All right, so y'all get to
Um,
choose what y'all want to do.
Yeah, I think if there's nothing else really in this town, I think we should continue moving north.
I agree with you, Gurkle. I think that's a great idea.
Should we try and secure some horses, carriages? Walking? I don't want to walk.
Are we sashaying? Sashay.
Are we voguing?
Looking for one of my notes.
I did notice a stable near the Gambling Golem last night. If we wanted to try there.
Where are my notes?
The DM crying in the background.
I don't know where they went. I think my son got them.
Uh-oh.
Just one page
Uh-oh.
of notes for a specific thing. For this.
Rip Caleb's
Yeah.
notes.
Liam's like, Daddy, look at the art I made. It's all over the fridge. It's just his notes on the other side.
Here's a piece of paper. There is a piece of paper on the fridge. There is some artwork. Okay, well, you know what? We can do it live. I think I remember it. Let me see.
Hitch a ride, unless anyone needs to speak with the Lord Protector before we go. Maybe he found more information or something. Doubtful, but
That's a good idea. Why couldn't you think of that idea, Gurkle?
Swear to God.
I think I have them. Give me a second.
Both in and out of character, Gorkle says that.
It's a, you thought of it first. You just didn't want to say it.
What did y'all think of?
We're gonna go talk to the man,
The Lord Protector Karen.
Aaron. Speak to the manager of this town.
Of the last town.
All the towns. Bring me
All
all.
the towns.
Where is
That was-
Shawl?
Casey found them.
Yay.
Yeah, were they stuck in the
welcome.
fridge?
No, they weren't.
Oh.
Tregel's gonna race down the stairs and hope that there's food left.
Oh,
As Shekel races around the corner, skidding on some on the wet floor, because Shekel didn't stop to read the wet floor sign. You slide into the wall, and as you come around the corner, you see somebody heading over to a bar with all the food laid out on it. And on the bar, on one plate, is a single chocolate bar. The person is on their way trying to grab it.
I'm gonna jump up and race over
I
there.
cast invisibility on the chocolate bar so it looks like it disappeared.
What? No.
Roll
Just kidding.
perception. Roll perception, Bo, to see if you even notice Shekel sprinting out of the corner.
do both of you have to roll perception for that? Roll for hallucination.
You do not notice Shekel sprinting out of the room in time to.
Curses foiled again.
That would have been awesome, though.
My dear.
Because it's a smaller room, so Shekel just comes out of nowhere, just out of the hallway, sprinting towards the breakfast bar.
I just imagine you hear tap 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 tap
Would
boom, into
technically-
the bar.
Wouldn't you technically say the breakfast bar?
The breakfast bar, yeah. Like that.
Did I get it?
Yeah, you race over and you snag it from the right in front of somebody. An elderly woman looks down. She wanted
Oh
wanted
no.
the last chocolate breakfast bar, and she walks off looking defeated.
As long as she's walking off and not standing there sad, I'm keeping it. It's mine.
That's your chocolate bar.
If she stood there and looked sad,
You
might
won
have
it
gotten
fair and
some.
square.
Won it from the old lady. And
So
then
the
you
deck-
get behind her and I'll push.
That's my candy bar. You guys ready? What do you guys want to do?
Morning, sunshine.
Good morning.
Ouch.
I slammed into the wall over
we-
there.
I'm pretty sure there was a stable near the gambling golem. We could go. We can see if we can get some horses there. If we're ready to head out of the town.
Okay,
Will you try?
I want to ride a horse.
I've never ridden a horse.
Me either.
Have you ridden a horse of a different color?
I've never ridden a horse.
Okay, maybe we can afford a cart.
That might be a better idea.
Yeah, I
Oh,
don't think he can ride a horse. Not well.
I'm pretty thick.
I think you might kill the horse.
I think there's only like 2 horses that can actually support my weight. Base game. You'd have to have.
Clydesdale.
You'd have to have a really big horse.
And also that really big
I was
horse. How
gonna
would he get up
ask-
on top of the big horse without killing it? Because if
I'm
you jump,
dexterous.
yeah, but if you jump and flip up on it, you'd probably crush it. But
Not Clydesdale.
like,
They-
do you have the flexibility in your legs with the shell not getting in the way, so you could get up there and like scritch over and?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind then.
roll
Look,
for
Boots,
parkour.
If you have
Roll
any
for
trouble getting
parkour.
on the horse,
I believe that's
I'll just
athletics.
pick you up and set you on the horse.
Same thing.
Acrobatics.
Don't worry
It
about
could
it.
be actually acrobatics. Probably would be more. Actually, it's a combination maybe. Or
Take
it'd be
that,
both.
parkour.
Performance? Could be anything.
Actually, performance would work.
All right. Well, I'm not gonna do the math for that. Because you don't know if you're gonna need to do that yet. And I hate that you all will make me do math. Um,
Math is hard.
I don't want
You
to
bastards.
At all?
At all.
I'll do the math.
Someone keep
Send
track
me the
of,
math.
Someone keep track of my money.
I have to do measurements stuff on the map. All right. Let's see. All right. So, what are y'all doing?
I think we're looking for Lord Protector is what we decided on.
Lord
Got it.
Protector, blah, blah, blah.
So I think we're. Would he be at the Ivy Manor? I don't know. I'm not sure where the Lord Protector would be. Do you guys know where we might try to find him?
Maybe he's around food. Maybe he's hungry.
I mean,
Well, the manor was
Ivy
where
Manor, was he
came,
not?
came in the manor, so it's probably at the manor. So it's the
That would be a good
like
guess.
the noble family of the town.
Maybe they'll have better food than a candy bar.
You hear a gasp and and you see an old lady and that old lady in the corner covering her mouth.
I'm gonna eat that thing right now before someone takes it from me.
I hope you're looking for
I'm sure the old
eyes
lady's
while
like
you're eating.
looking at you and
It's
saying,
the best
"Trollop."
candy bar. It's the best candy bar you've ever tasted.
What if it's the only candy bar she's ever
I
tasted?
guess I've eaten my foot.
It's
It would
still
be the best.
it's still the best then.
I guess I've eaten my foot. You know, that foot in your mouth. Home skillet.
I don't understand these phrases you speak.
You've never stuck your foot in your mouth? You must not be that flexible.
I've never wanted to taste my foot. I walk on it all the time. I look over to see.
God, I thought I was stupid.
Oh,
Fucking
oh
hell,
Lord.
man.
That was beautiful.
I'm fucking
Oh my
dead.
God. Freaking killed me. Oh.
Oh,
FYI, that's
justice.
officially going into my notebook.
Your dream journal?
Dream journal.
Linus stuck
It has a
foot
unicorn on the
in
cover.
mouth.
Circle's dream journal.
Worth it.
It's a. Oh, it's a Lisa Frank notebook.
Or than Anne Frank notebook.
Okay, first of all, what's wrong with that? Oh.
Yes,
Oh no, I wasn't.
today.
I wasn't expecting this. Bo, you get inspiration.
Go! Of course.
He deserves it.
Demi, did you get the
yeah.
stuff written down for the robe of useful items?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't put it on though if you're searching my character.
No, I just was asking if you got all the stuff written down. If you have it written down, that's. I wanted to make sure I had it until you needed it. If you're done with it, and we're done.
All right. So y'all are in the Gilded Horseshoe. What are y'all doing?
We're going to the
It'll
manor to
help
search for
if
the
you just follow
Lord
along.
Protector, right?
All right, we're
Okay.
going to the manor.
All right. So you're heading towards the manor, and as you get to the manor, you can see the Lord Protector talking with the court magician Beer, I believe is his name.
That sounds right.
Bir. And the elder, the elder for this village is who lives in the manor, wife Susan. Yes, no. No, just kidding.
With every
No,
character. Yes, Susan.
But yeah, so you see them outside talking. Outside the Ivy Manor.
All right, Gurkle, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and approach them.
Y'all are you're like right here at the end of the bridge.
The under overbridge.
The under overbridge.
I'll approach them and I'll ask the Lord Protector if if you found out any new information overnight or since we arrived here.
He as you walk over, he kind of hails you. He puts his hand up in the air as a greeting. And he goes, "Any new information? Well, no. Without too much way to travel back and forth, we had to send it through messages on these magical scripts that we have there. But it does take a while for communication to happen. As far as I can tell, the town sounds okay. Um, we sent a couple people to make sure, but it'll be about a week before we hear anything back. Um, the apprentice to Beer here went back there to recreate the teleportation circle so they could teleport back and forth. And until then, since that will take a while to gather some of the materials, some of my troops will be marching up to Long Saddle just in case. Other than that, no new news.
I feel like I watched The Fish on the television. From SpongeBob?
What-
Oh, okay.
what?
Well,
Very straightforward, and it
Oh,
was listening to the news.
well, good to know. I think the rest of the group and I were preparing to head further north.
I see. Well, if that is what you must do, I know you are looking for your friend who went on his religious journey. Um, so, if there's anything that you need, please do let me know. It is not necessarily within my power to grant it here, but if there is something I can do to help,
Upon
nonetheless.
reflection, excuse me, sir. Upon reflection, we have forgot when we were questioning the person that was in your care that unfortunately
Yes,
came
the
to a
person
demise.
that
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. That person. We're wondering, and if you may know, have you seen anything of the other Team Corellian that was headed this way? Basically,
I mean, of course, Team Corellian did stop in to town. Uh, I've known two of their members for a long time now.
did
We've been
anything
friends
seem
for a while.
off about them?
No, not off. They were just investigating what you came into town for.
Did you know where they did they say where they were heading? Or
They didn't say where their ultimate journey would end, but they did say they were heading towards towards Long Saddle. So they definitely did come this way.
okay. And then I turned the question towards the leader of Longsaddle, I guess, who's there, and like, do you have any information on them?
The Elder's not here, but the Court Mage is. So yeah.
Yeah.
Um, well, Team Corellian did come in and stop for a bit at the Ivy Manor. Um, they left and went north, as far as I know.
do you know if they left with anybody that was not part of the group, or were they acting strange? If you know them, I'm not sure if you know them, but if you do know them, were they acting different?
They did leave with somebody different than when they came. When they arrived, but it was a person in chains, someone they had picked up around the town. They didn't stop, but it does look like the cultist group that uh, you had previously described to me. And he nods at Karen. He's talking to Karen about that. And
Did anything seem off? Anything, just even the most minute detail?
I wouldn't say off. They seemed actually rather jovial. That they had found this man. It seemed that had been the first break they had finally they had been able to make, and
Okay.
the investigation that they were doing.
Anybody else got any questions? Do you know where we could find a cot, like a or wagon, and maybe some draft horses, so we could load up and move on north, maybe a little bit faster than walking?
Let's see, a cart. Well, we would typically have some at the stables, but I know that we've been sending out a bunch for travel recently, people have been moving off of the long road, as you can imagine. A couple of the houses in town aren't necessarily abandoned, but their full family isn't here right now. A few people, grabbed them and traveled west uh, to go over to Neverwinter or other places like that. Uh, but other than that, I think maybe some businesses around town might have one. Uh,
Okay.
so you might be able to ask around town if you see anyone.
I
You might be able to
appreciate
either purchase it or someone might be already heading the direction you want to go. But apologies, we don't even have our own carriages. We sent off the carriage uh, with the two guards and another emissary um, that came through, took another one. So we are all out ourselves.
A shame. I guess we better start asking around town.
Yeah.
I think
Well, I
that's
thank you
all
for
I
your
have.
time. Yeah, I think we're gonna find a way, some new equipment. We're gonna start head north to track down our comrades as well as track down what's been going on, and hopefully soon we'll pass back this way again and update you with our progress. If not, we'll try to send news another way.
All right. And the Lord Protector walks over and whispers something in Beer's ear, and Beer nods and walks back into the room. And the Lord Protector looks over and says, "Wait one moment." And Beer walks out and hands a roll of paper to him. And the Lord Protector goes, "This is a set of messaging papers. Um, you write on it, and I will receive that message on another paper nearby, and I can answer you. So
Ooh.
one of you should take this and keep me alerted. And if you need any assistance, please do let me know."
Sure. Reach out my hand for it.
Okay. Give me a second. Somebody messaged me something last week that had to wait till this week because we had to go to.
Bedtime.
Mathematical. Does pen even write? It sure does not. Yes? No? Like half and half. I'm gonna call you Todoroki.
What?
Everybody still there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, it's got real quiet. Um,
Sorry, I was typing a message.
no, you're okay.
All right.
So we have
Um,
that.
Yep.
I think we should just move on foot from here. We shouldn't trouble people with anything that they currently have. It seems like the town's excess wagons and horses are being used. We shouldn't take up the resources that this small town already has.
that's very noble. We're still standing by the Lord Protector, right?
Ish, yeah. He's walked off to go talk to another person, but yeah, it's in that
Okay.
direction. You're
Uh,
like over by the Ivy Manor.
Okay. I'll just like kind of like walk over just to grab his attention real quick and ask him how long is it until or how many days walk is it until the next town along the long road?
So pulling out your map,
Diddle-diddle-doo.
you can see that it is longer than your journey. It's shorter than your journey from Amphail to Tribor, but is much longer than Waterdeep to Amphail, or even Tribor to Long Saddle.
Okay.
Let me get you the actual estimate
We
because
it's if we pay for the services for them, it's a fair trade. They take the money, they can then take the money and buy other things they may need. They may not need the wagon and horses and stuff like that. They might be able to use the money in other ways. So we should at least try to look before just saying, okay, let's just walk it.
It is also more animals that we'll have to take care of on the trip. We
That
already
is
have a dire wolf.
true. Yeah.
well, that is true, but then you'd have to pull the direwolf with you, just to let you know,
Yeah.
out of character. Um,
I love how we just have a pocket direwolf that we've been dragging around.
I mean, it's in a cage.
I thought you had tied to Bocelli's back order, but
What?
What?
I thought he was tied to the turtle's back because he was strong enough to
Yes.
carry it.
Clearly, I am not strong. What?
Oh, that's what I thought. Sorry.
No, the Goliath is twice the strength I have.
Um,
Easily.
The Lord Protector looks over at you and he asks he asks you if you have a map. And when you pull out your map, he points to you and he goes, "Well, it typically takes about a little over a week to reach Mirabar from here, and that's if you're moving at a decent pace. You could make it faster, of course, and you could take your time. Um, but if you take your time, it will, of course, cost you a few extra days. So it's about a little over a week's travel.
Also, if we find anything on the way, like supplies and stuff like that, we could use the wagon to carry it instead of saying, "Oh, we can't carry it because we don't have the room for it on our bodies." So it makes try to get a wagon and a horse if we can.
So
I
okay,
agree.
knowing that, I'll turn
Also,
back to the group and inform them that it would take about a week on foot to reach Mirabar.
About the same with the
my
wagon, but it's a little bit easier on your journey.
yeah. My thought is that we've already lost 2 weeks going through this teleportation. Do we want to waste time walking there, or do we want to find a little bit quicker uh way, possibly with the cart and horses?
I think we should do a cart and horse. It's also a good strategy in case we have wounded and we need to carry them in the back of the cart, and or we might need to get away, and it might be faster to get away in the cart instead of walking or running. It does have extra hazards to it, because we might have to carry an extra wheel in case something breaks or something like that. But I mean, it might be faster too. Out of character, I've played Oregon Trail.
I haven't.
Thing to note about the vehicle is that if you do get a wagon, the advantage of the wagon is that you you aren't limited to just walking during the day. Like you don't necessarily have to be moving. You can move longer. Like you can travel for longer because obviously you can only travel so long before you have to stop and rest as a human.
Mhm.
But um,
Humanoid.
you can go a little bit longer. Technically, not 24 hours because horses do need to rest and stuff. But you can still go a lot longer than you would normally walking.
As much as Boots appreciates being called as human, he's a leather skin. Let's be straight about that, Caleb.
Well, if any of us stay out in the sun long enough, we'll all leather skins. Um.
Okay.
Well, except for maybe one of us. She might just
Cameron,
be
for your
Ash.
stream, people can only hear you, not us.
Oh, no?
It's Trey said, because he was watching.
Okay.
So yeah, y'all can just decide. Y'all are still on the other side of the bridge. Still pretty early in the morning.
I mean, my legs are big and strong. I wouldn't mind walking, but I'm just asking the rest of the group to get more opinions.
I think we could benefit from a wagon.
Well, yeah.
What was
I
that?
would
I
say
couldn't hear
you'd probably
you.
go
Out
to
of-
the
Out
wagon.
of character, yeah, I say out of character. You probably need to ask around at least before you like it. You don't even know if there is a wagon before you.
Yeah. According to the map that we're looking at, I would say we go check out the Leaping Hooves trade stables, maybe the Fine Stirrups and Spurs, the Paddock or the Harple farm. Would probably do it since the. So those are the ones I would say. I mean, I'm assuming they'll have horses because everything in this damn town is named the Horn and the Hoof for the gilded horseshoe. Or
They gotta have at least one
I mean,
horse.
they've there's a lot of things horse related or not horse related, but just like travel related. The rolling wheel. I mean, come on. I mean.
So what are y'all doing?
I'm
Right.
going to go towards the Leaping Hooves trade stables and see if there's anything available. And if anybody wants to come with me,
I was gonna say we should probably split up and look for hooves.
well, I would say we should go together. That way, yes, it may take more time, but we don't end up. Hey, we all show up with 3 wagons and no horse or something.
Each one of us has our own cart and horses.
No, I'm afraid that everybody's gonna like. We all show up and everybody's like, "I've got a cart," and everybody's like, "Great, but didn't you get a horse? I thought you were gonna get the horse. No, I thought you were gonna get the horse." And
As you
Is that a problem you've
close
run into a couple times?
yes,
I think it's a fair problem.
as you start to turn away and start moving towards the under overbridge, you notice one of the people talking to the Lord Protector and Beard sprints off after you, and it looks like it is a young woman, probably around in her early 20s, late teens, runs after you and says, "Wait, please don't go." And she kind of like runs up and she's running out of breath. She goes, "Wait, I can help you. I can get you transport.
okay.
But please, I need help. I can't find anyone to help. There's no one in town. My father."
What's the problem? What's the dealio, yo? I couldn't think what to say. Sorry.
Yeah? What's the matter, Dr. Skillet? What's going on, homie?
So confused by my teammates' vernacular.
She
So
reaches
am I.
over and she's like,
Honest.
and Beer kind of walks up and goes, yes. So this is Miss Maria, Mirya. That's her first name. See, she's trying to get your assistance as well. Look, I'm not sure how much assistance anyone will be, Maria. Obviously, your father is in quite a predicament. The proper authorities are already investigating this.
What's wrong,
which-
Sweet Pea?
When she replies, "My father did not murder that man."
All right, I'm out.
They're blaming my father of murder. I can't find anyone to help, and I need assistance. We have plenty of carriages and horses. I can see that you get to wherever you want. You can have the carriage and horse. I just need your help.
We
Sure,
could have it.
we can help you, deal. That sounds like a doable trade. Tell us
Thank
more
you.
of your situation.
Well, it happened last night, and my father runs a winery outside of town, and we were having a party, a hosting, and people from across the region had come, and one of my father's rivals was murdered, and I know my dad didn't do it, but they're saying that he did, and I don't know who else to look towards.
So, why wasn't he brought to town here if he's right outside of town? What I mean, is
I
he here in
mean,
town?
he's a few hours outside right now. They're just trying to figure out who did it.
Okay.
Are you sure he didn't do it though?
She kind of looks at you like,
Are
like
you the
the
most
rich lady aghast look.
It.
Both hands slightly covering her mouth,
Yes,
but not fully.
exactly. Yeah. She's wearing very nice clothes. Her hands are gloved. She has a nice uh, springtime hat on and everything like that.
I don't
She,
mean anything by it. I'm just making sure.
Maybe I should throw a chocolate bar on the ground so you go run after that instead of harping all over her.
I'm sorry. Do you want to fight?
Linus's inner conscience knows that he would lose that fight.
Gurgle's
fought a
just
troll once.
sitting next to him saying, fight,
Sure
fight,
did.
fight, fight,
Not
fight.
necessarily.
He just
Warlock's got spirit.
You know what? I woke up late today. Okay.
Gurgle woke
Just-
up and chose violence.
I got invisibility and spider climb. Let's do
She's
this.
extra level higher than you and almost double your health. Spider climbs all over the wall. Just
She can't hit what she can't see.
Yep, you're right. I'm blind.
Anyways, yeah, I say we try to help this lady.
Yeah. Anyways. Sure, we can help.
Let's go for it.
As long as he didn't do it. I just don't want to find out he did.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I can take you over here, and she has a carriage off to the side. It's just a one-horse carriage, but it is big enough to fit everybody either in the carriage or on the top or hanging on the side. Like guards would hang on the side. And there is a guard at the carriage, as well as a driver. She goes, we can take my carriage to my father's estate.
Sure, why not?
Okay.
So,
Sounds good.
so yeah, everybody can fit in.
She might need
Kieran's character, you're kind of holding on the outside, Kieran. You're like standing up on the back edge, holding on with a hand onto the grip because
Yep.
you're a little bit too big to fit through the door.
I'm a bit thick.
Gargle, you're in the same way. You're holding onto the back.
Could their combined weight make the whole cart with the horse tip up so it's so they have to even it out? It's like one in front, one in the back, so it just evens out, but so it doesn't tip backwards.
If the horses weren't attached to the front of the carriage, yeah, you probably would be worried about that. The horses actually feel like there's a extra weight off their shoulders, so it helps them in the end. And after about a few hours, 2-3 hours, you start to roll up outside the city, towards the east, towards some forests. You start to roll up onto this clearing, and you see a massive kind of like not vineyard, but it's something of the sort. There's a bunch of orchards everywhere, like properly cared for and kept orchards. It goes back for a couple acres. And traveling down the road, you could see that she definitely does have money. Like this is a fairly well-to-do estate. And as you pull up, it's a pretty nice house. It's what you would probably call a mansion. It is about equivalent in size to your guild hall. Um, so it's quite big, and um, once you get up to this place, um, the driver comes over and opens the door for her to let her out. So you do get out, and you're sitting in front of the manor. Um, sorry, 1 second. What's going on here? What is going on with Roll20? You don't like maps, Roll20?
Is it because you already have the one map up?
No, I don't know what's going on. Give me 1 second. It could be.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like maps. No.
I'm
Yeah.
the map. I'm the map.
Yeah, that was
I'm the
roll
map.
20.
I'm the map. 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 I'm the map.
What did I do?
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna break it down into a rap verse. Back, back, back.
I think I'm the map just rhymes with itself, doesn't it?
Um,
I'm the map rap.
You know what? It sure does, Cameron.
I'm a
Cool it
genius.
down. Cool it down.
Oh, I know what I need to do. I need to roll 2d20s.
Turns out Wispy Lady was the real murderer.
Okay.
Wow.
You forget to do that quite often, Pope?
I should do it every. I was supposed to do it every long rest, short rest, but
Long rest, I think, yeah.
What is that for?
yeah, I think it's long rest. Yeah.
it's my divination ability, which allows me to add those to add it to anybody I see in my party, or add it to myself. So if you roll a 1, I can give you one of those 2 scores, and that gives you
Doesn't
that to roll.
add it, it changes the score.
It changes your score to that. Excuse me.
Hmm.
You're good.
So
I know what you
changes
meant.
possibly from a failure to a success.
I love
Yeah.
success.
Or I can make
Reload
or
this.
if I roll low, I can make a monster have a failure instead of successes.
Ow, my eye! I got something in my eye. Ow!
So yeah, it's a long rest. I can use it. I can use 2 of them for a long rest. Yep. So.
Okay, I'm re-uploading the image. Sorry.
That's okay. It's not your fault. Images are...
Reset the name
Imaginary?
on the tab too. Why?
Technology today.
I'm just having one of those days.
What the heckaroo?
What the heckaroo?
So, Nicholas, if say a monster rolls a nat 20, but your armor class is 15, I can say nope, he rolled a 12, so he might not have hit you.
Hmm.
Things like that. Or if his saving throw is
Does that
is
also
high.
work on like us as well?
Yep.
Like if
Yes.
one of us rolls bad, you can be like, no, he actually rolled whatever.
Which really helps when you roll 12, like that specifically. Like a 2 or a 17 probably would have been better because you have... Like a 12 is still pretty decent. Like you can use that in a lot of situations, especially if they have high stat modifiers.
That might have helped whenever we're fighting the what's it called?
The Umber Hulk?
Yeah, the Umber Hulk.
Yeah, somebody left. You guys left me behind. Sorry, I couldn't do much.
I mean, you weren't there that session. None of us thought to leave it. We didn't know we were going to be in combat.
Yeah.
Umbrella.
It's okay. I'm just
Umbrella Corp?
Wait,
My
what?
my brain was like Umber Hulk. It's
By the way, the live-action version of Cowboy Bebop will be on November 19th on Netflix.
Thanks, Bo. That's
You're welcome.
Did I just get an advertisement?
You sure did. You just got ad rolled in the middle of your
So what?
statement.
We got Reese's Cup. Now we got Cowboy Bebop is sponsoring us, right?
Oh, and
Oh my gosh.
Free Guy is
Reese's
quite
Puffs,
good if you guys haven't
Reese's
seen
Puffs.
Free Guy yet. It's
And
we get
Peanut butter
sponsorship
chocolate
from-
flavor.
Thank
had
you.
a lot of good.
God, I love it.
It's
What were
pretty
you saying,
hard.
Dimmy? I'm sorry.
French fry alarm.
Oh. Whoop, whoop.
Dude, I had a cherry limeade today. I haven't had
Mhm.
one in like 5 years.
From
Man.
Sonic?
Yeah,
Yeah, I can't drink those. But yeah,
it was pretty good.
I know. Yeah. Murder. But yeah, it's delicious.
You couldn't really see the movement lines, so I did overlay some movement lines to make them, or the grid lines, just to make it easier for y'all.
Okay.
For some reason, it's just not showing up easily. It's not showing up very easy on here. So,
Trey's missing the Hateful Eight episode.
Huh?
There was a murder.
Okay.
We gotta solve the murder.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I really wish I didn't have to rebuild this. Gonna be honest.
Rip.
Um.
Okay. Now I've got to move you guys back over here. I had to redo the tab.
Super
So-
awesome.
Where are y'all? Oh no, I'm gonna have to go back to our first dungeon. I use our first dungeon to store everybody's.
Gosh, it's been so long. Wait, first dungeon, not the cave?
Not the cave. No, I use the first dungeon to store everybody's tokens when I need
That's
to move
funny.
them over.
What was the guy's name?
Bandit Keith?
Yeah. No, we
How do you
well, it
forget
was
Bandit Keith?
Puddle Keith or something, and we fucking named him
Yeah.
because Bo fucking
I'm
disintegrated
still
him.
wearing his fucking scarf or whatever, his bandana. Oh my gosh.
Cameron, you should know this
Like
by
a
now. I'm
goddamn-
horrible with remembering names.
This is why we take notes. This is why we take notes.
Dude, I typed some notes and I still forget.
Don't type. Right.
I started doing that last session. Still doesn't
Writing
help.
notes.
Elitist?
It's no, writing notes is actually more effective for most people because you're focusing on the writing as opposed to typing. So typing doesn't work as effectively. Yes, it's good for getting it done quickly, but writing actually is more effective in the memorization patterns of.
Burns in
Yeah.
your brain.
Yeah. It requires a little bit more focus. I would say a lot more focus, but some people.
Keep
I mean,
cutting
I
out.
could tell you for me, like
You
I can
finish the
just
sentence.
I can just be like, hey, type this sentence out, and then like while not even paying attention to it, just like type it out.
Yeah.
It was just a joke, you guys.
Oh, I know.
Guys, did we
Well,
just
I mean, I was just I get when people always have jokes, but I always do that stupidly.
Like, this sounds very serious.
I cut you off, Maddie. What were you saying?
leave Cassius?
Holy cow! I completely forgot about the bird.
I asked about him earlier and no one said anything, and I
I
was like,
didn't hear you ask about him
Hey.
at all. I'm so sorry.
Cassius is definitely passed out somewhere in some. He's
gotta
gonna
be a
wake up and be like,
reason.
"Where did everybody go?"
Oh my
I want to know
god.
that man's story.
I'm sure he'll be able to find where to go if you. He's Cassius.
He is Cassius, indeed.
Damn it.
But I mean, if you
Which-
really think about it, like out of character, like Caleb, you based him off of Breath of the Wild. You know, Cass out of Breath of the Wild, and he just kind of just randomly shows up, like at the most convenient spots. So
You should take a level in fighter that he could be Cassius Clay.
No,
Like-
bad Cameron.
could you imagine, like in our next dungeon that we go in, our next like encounter we go in, we just start fighting, and as we round a corner, just Cassius is just big chilling there, just like, oh, I knew I'd find you guys there.
In the dungeon.
Yeah, like in the middle of a cultist infested dungeon, just Big chillin'.
There's like 6 giant spiders all around him, and he's like, "Oh, hey guys."
Cassius is the leader of it. We just don't know that he's traveling with us.
Oh my gosh, don't do that to me. I can't go that meta yet.
How could you say such a thing about
It's
cats?
gonna be so sad
Don't.
Right?
when we find out that he's one of them.
No.
Penguin taketh a boost.
Okay, conspiracy theorist. The world is not flat. There
I
is
don't know that for sure.
there is no lead in your breakfast cereals, and Tommy Hilfiger was not created by the United States government to infiltrate our sock drawers.
Lizard people are real. You
Just-
just don't know it yet.
Just for
Yeah,
the record, just for the
those are
record,
definitely real.
this
That's
is
not a conspiracy.
this is Cameron saying
Oh,
this,
thanks.
not me.
What, Nick?
I said, just for the record, this is Cameron saying this, not me.
100%.
So that everyone knows.
Well, they can see. I mean, I have it indicated in my stream who's talking at when because I have the Discord chat up.
Yeah, so do I.
Reloading takes forever. Okay, I think I got most of it reloaded.
The bubbles weren't showing clearly, so I just have a separate window that's in. It's enough where you can see the map and stuff still.
I found the
Um,
Discord.
I used default faces for the
Nice.
for the company, but okay, let me move everybody here. Right.
Shazam.
Whoa.
All right, so as you arrive, and you hop out of the carriage and walk towards the front door, you see a sign, that on the door, like like a business sign, but it says Martinelli's Estate.
Oh my god.
Caleb.
Yeah?
You beautiful, beautiful,
Wonderful man.
beautiful son of a bitch. I love you.
This-
Oh,
Underneath there it says Apple Wine Winery.
Apple wine sounds interesting.
it's delicious.
She hears you and she goes, "It's actually a specialty of this region, and my father is the biggest distributor, I guess you could say." I was trying to think of the word. That wasn't her. Distributor in this area.
Neat.
She kind of seems happy and like not smug about it, but rich girl like, haha, I'm important kind of. So she goes,
Guy died.
yes, the guy did die. So she does lead you through the doors into the room, and so everybody is kind of you're trying to pile in the room here. So you're kind of in this waiting room. She walks in, she starts talking to one of the guards, and you can hear her communication, basically saying like, "I brought in adventurers from a third party that we can trust. They're from a guild, so we know that they're not gonna throw this facade of justice against my father." And the guard's like, "Look, I don't know what to tell you. If they can find some evidence, sure, but for now, it's not looking great." And one of the guards walks over and walks towards the door and says, "Look, this is obviously going to make it more complicated for me. She's within her rights to hire someone to prove her father's innocence. That is part of the local rules, but do not mess with the body, and do not mess with any of my guards, or else."
Can we ask you some questions?
Certainly, you can ask questions to my guards, just don't mess with them. You can ask questions to the nobles, but don't mess with the body. You can ask questions if you need to observe something from the body, alert one of my guards, and he can assist you. He kind of just walks back over and leans against the stool. You get the impression that while within her legal rights, this is a more of an annoying an annoyance for him to have to deal with an outside investigation. So, what would you like to do? Verily, it does seem there has been a murder at Martinelli's.
I love you so much.
Let me actually show their names to at least a couple of these people. You don't know his first name, but that is his last name. That you do know. Now you know her last name.
Monsieur Martinelli. Alrighty.
Oh, I love this.
I
What?
think we should examine the body with permission from the guard, of course.
One of the guards, the main guard kind of waves at the guy behind him, and he's like, "Look, you do it. I don't feel like doing this." He's like, "Fine." He's like, "All right, what do you need to see?"
Your job? I'm offended.
He doesn't look like he cares.
Yeah. Flip it.
Well, you said flip him over. Y'all are cutting out.
Yes. No, don't flip the body over.
Who discovered the body first?
How did he die?
Oh my god, here we go with the question.
Discovered the body first. Well, they were all in the dining room, up ahead, and the victim walked out into the main area, and people heard a scuffle. When they came in, they saw the body laying dead there with a dagger in his back.
Okay. If they were all in the dining room and he walked out, then how do they know that her father killed this person?
It was.
What was that? You cut out?
If they were all in the dining
Not you, Bo. I heard what you said. You're not cutting out. Demi and Maddie, you're cutting out for me.
Okay, hold on.
Sorry, people are messaging.
What is his name? And who is he?
There we go.
Sorry. All right. What was I doing? Where's his name? His name you said? Sorry. His name
Yes.
was Arminius. The guard answers you. And I'll spell it on the change his nameplate to on so you can see his name. Well, he's not really a token, so.
No, you're fine. You can just
Yeah.
you can type it in chat.
It's not too hard. Yeah, I'll type it in chat. That'll be easy, you know. Arminius.
That's what I thought.
To your question, Bo, sorry. The guard looks over and goes, "Well, Martinelli and a few other people had left out of the room as well. So it wasn't just everyone there, but the main party of the nobles, most of which have left, but a few have stayed behind. Good friends of Martinelli and good friends of Arminius.
So you allowed potential suspects to leave.
I allowed them to leave, yes, because I've already done my investigation. She's within her rights to have someone else come in and investigate. I'm within my rights to send people home.
Okay,
People who were vindicated because they were in a room with a bunch of other people when it happened.
Who were the people with Martinelli that were in this room when the deed occurred?
The murderer would know. I assume that's what you're asking. Obviously no one has said that they were in the room when he was murdered. No one would own up to that.
Okay. how did you come to the conclusion that Martinelli was the murderer?
Well, his own personal dagger here. He holds out a weapon wrapped in cloth. He unwraps it and shows a bloodstained dagger. As you can see, it's his own personal dagger with his crest on it, one missing from his belt. And he points over at Martinelli, and you can see like a small little dagger scabbard on the side of his belt that's empty.
Okay. Who is the victim itself? Arminius. Arminius? Whatever. What did he do? What was he, a rival winemaker? Was he an importer?
Certainly, yes. He's one of the biggest winemakers in the area, rivaling Martinelli's. He has a vineyard, probably about 50 miles down the road.
How successful is he?
Pretty successful. About equivalent to Martinelli. Maybe he has a wider distribution network.
Okay.
I've heard you can order or get his wine about as far as Waterdeep. Martinelli's is trying to get that far.
Out of character, I assume the ones with the holding the staffs are all the guards, but who are the others?
Yes,
Who are
they're
the other
nobles.
tokens?
They're nobles. Yeah,
Okay.
I just used a plain image for them since I
Works
was
just
re-uploading stuff. Yeah, I was like re-uploading. They look different. Obviously, all of them look different, but
Kind
they're
of figured
nobles.
they were all nobles, yeah.
Okay.
You already pursued the idea that he might have been framed.
Possibly. I go over and say I go over to inspect Martinelli.
The guard says, of course, we think that he might have been framed, but as in any typical investigation, I can't assume against the evidence what the evidence says.
Right, but who under that idea would you think would be most likely?
To frame him? Well, I'm not sure. Honestly, I would say the guy dead at your feet right now would probably be the most likely to try to frame Martinelli for murder. So, honestly, it could be any noble in the room. Any of these nobles, you know. There's a few other people in other rooms. Let me get those people because I'll let you see everybody. Let me get the tokens for that.
I'm zooming out, chat. It's a big map.
Yeah. Well, where? So y'all can discuss amongst yourself while you do this. What you want to do?
I go over to and talk to Martinelli.
Yes, I get that. Other people exist beside you.
Sorry, they do. I was unaware of this. I was unaware of this.
What is this crap?
Crap.
That's good discussion, guys.
Is there anything else that's is there anything else that's strange about the room? Is like there anything out of
There's a couple things knocked over off of the where the body fell. You know, like
okay.
Like a candelabra. I don't know if they'd call that what they'd call that in D&D besides a candelabra.
I think a candelabra is just a candelabra, so
they would call it a candelabra.
Yeah, so
okay.
let me go ahead and move those people to the. Oh, gross.
God,
I
that's
didn't upload
huge.
right. Didn't upload
think
right. I have them
think
in
I
a
saw
folder.
her Resident Evil Village.
Oh, I can't replay that again.
I have them in a
Oh my
folder on my
God.
computer. I don't know why the white shows up now. Maybe I didn't save my version of them where I removed the white, but it's fine. You'll get the idea. That just means they're rotund, right? They have boxes around them.
Mhm.
These might have been the ones I wasn't going to use, but okay, whatever. We'll use them for now. We'll do it live since everything is ruined and broken now. All right. All right. So you walked over to Martinelli's, Linus.
Mhm.
Can you move? You can move yourself, right?
Should be able to.
All right. You're over by Martinelli's then.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, as you walk up, he's kind of just standing there, rubbing his eyes. He looks tired, like he hasn't slept.
I
Obviously, probably not.
pay particular attention to his hands.
You see hands that, surprisingly for a noble, do look more rough. Like maybe he worked to build his company. Like maybe he didn't just, he's not just a rich noble. Like his hands look a little like grizzled and some calluses here and there. Somebody who has worked a harder life.
Is there sufficient light in this room?
Sufficient light. Yeah, it's pretty
Like
lit.
it's pretty lit up.
It's got
Okay.
some windows and some it's got a nice little skylight in it. It's
Okay.
a nice little screen room.
I will. I ask him to please extend his hands forward.
And he eyes you and he goes, "What for?"
Well, we're going to prove your innocence, so we need to check for clues. So if you do not mind, and I'm sorry I have to ask this, could you please extend your hand, sir?
One of the guards walks over and goes, "What
Don't
are
worry,
you trying to do?"
no harm will come to him. I promise you that. And if it does, you may strike me down. I'm only looking for something.
That's fine, wizard, but I wish you'd tell me what you are looking for before you try.
And I'm asking him to extend his hands. All I'm
Martinelli
trying to
looks
see,
at you and goes, "No, you won't tell me what you're trying to do."
all I'm trying to see is that you say he stabbed this person, right? It was his dagger. It was blood all over the blade. Then there would be blood all over Martinelli as well. He wouldn't have had time to clean himself because everybody came in with it. So he would be on his. There would be blood on his hands and blood on his body, and blood on his clothes. So that's what I'd like to check. See if there's blood on his hands and blood on his clothes.
The guard goes, "Well, yes, they found him with the body.
But does he?
He had blood on his hands. He's wiped them off."
Oh, that's convenient. May I still see his? May I still see his clothes then?
It's convenient to want to wash your hands from blood and not sit there for hours with blood on your hands.
May I still see his clothes? Like extend your arms, extend your hands out.
Sure, and he holds his arms out not towards you, but out towards the sides.
That's fine. That's fine. You don't have to hold them out towards me.
No, I mean he's not saying that. He's just not doing it.
Okay. Well, I hand my staff, Azrael, if you will hold my staff for me. I go and I'm like, sir, I'm just going to examine your clothes. I'm not going to hurt you in any way. And I'm basically just looking at his clothes itself, seeing if there's any blood splatter on the clothes itself back, and trying to see, using my investigation skills, to see if I can tell whether the blood spray from stabbing it would have hit and sprayed on him, what you would see in a normal case like this.
There is blood on his clothes, so since
But I should be able to investigate the blood spray in the direction of the blood spray.
Roll an investigation check.
I have a +5. Natural 20.
25. The blood on his body doesn't necessarily look like it was aerated before.
Okay.
It splashed on him.
Okay. Thank you.
You know this, but
It dried on his clothes, is what you mean?
it wasn't aerated, meaning that the form of contact from the blood, it wasn't thrown onto him necessarily. Maybe more. It looks more like it had been
Like
pushed
smeared.
onto.
Sorry, I was just trying to
Like-
understand what you meant. By
Smeared,
that.
yeah.
Like your jacket kind of touched a corpse. like
Yeah, exactly.
Like he
Ladder.
bent, after the body was dead, he bent down to say like, "My God, what happened to him?" Tried to save him or something. Not, and the after the fact wasn't the actual spray of blood everywhere.
Could be.
Okay.
Who knows? I mean, I guess I know, but you don't know.
Not yet.
Okay. Thank you. May I see your belt of where the dagger was at the time, on your body? Excuse me. You can show it to me. You do not have
He
to.
raises an eyebrow and just looks down at his belt and he goes, "It's there,
Okay.
on my hip."
Now you usually carry this dagger with you at all times, right? You never take it off.
Yes, I usually do, and like I've told them, I did leave it in my study, and I don't know how it ended up where it did.
Okay, so the weapon was not on you at the time of the murder, or at the time of like this whole predicament in the dining room. It was actually in your study. Thank you very much.
The guard says, "So he says."
You have reason to doubt him?
The guard looks at
Isn't
you and
every
goes, if you have sufficient evidence to prove that he's not the murderer, then sure. But until then, he's the one with the means, the motive, and the opportunity to
what
do
is the
so.
what
I
what
don't
is
need
the
you to tell me how to do my
what is
job.
what is the motive, sir?
The the motive? He's one of his biggest rivals in the area. If
So
Arminius
why
gone,
would
Martinelli would be able to swoop in and take up his distribution network.
That's
People
why
would
right,
be
would
looking.
Linus.
why would
Guilty
why
until proven innocent. That's how we
This-
do things.
You got to
why
realize
would
this is a more medieval society. This is not
I
modern
understand that.
day
But
Scotland
why
Yard.
would somebody kill his rival at his own house in the middle of a dinner party with all these witnesses to make himself look guilty? That would make no sense. He would do it somewhere where when he would not get caught if it was a
You're a
planned
smart
murder.
wizard. You're finally learning. That's why we're still here.
You sure got an attitude, buddy.
Okay. I guess we'll have to go.
He walks over to this.
I look over at the way the body's sprayed. Okay.
Out of character, yes, the guards obviously think they know who did it because they're guards. Just like cops
Yeah.
nowadays think they're right.
Yeah, I know.
But obviously this isn't nowadays. So you would know, all of you would know that law is handled a little bit differently, especially not in big cities. Um,
Hmm?
Law is
Bounty law.
it's more along the lines of, this fits the best until we know something else. That's what it is.
Is
Makes
there
sense.
I'm looking at the body now. Or we look at the
Sure.
body now. Squatting down, not actually touching anything, just looking at the body.
One of the guards steps over and eyes you and just nods, and he's like, "All right."
Okay. I'm gonna look at like so the dagger is still in the body, or did they remove the dagger?
No, it was in a cloth when they showed it to you.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. Sorry. It's been a long day. I'm sorry. Okay. So
Other people to help you.
is there the like? Did it look like the person who was stabbed? Did he move at all from a location like there's a trail of blood at all?
A little bit from where
Chalice, booty.
from where Boots is. Sorry.
Boots. I can never pronounce her name.
Yeah,
Sorry.
from where Boots is. Go into that.
That's why everybody calls me Boots.
Bootylicious.
And then while you're doing that, Bo, what is everybody else doing? I want everybody to really be a part of it. So I'm gonna go down the line. Like Azrael, what are you doing? Shekel, what are you doing? Boots, what are you doing? Gurgle, who would like to go first? To kind of like.
Oh,
I
Azrael.
can. Oh, go ahead.
I would, I'm just gonna flat out ask Martinelli if he did it. I mean,
No, why would I do this in my old manor? This is insane. Yeah, look, I agree. Arminius and I haven't seen eye to eye for a while, but I did invite him over here to try and make amends and to possibly have a partnership, but we never got that far. So yeah,
Is there
I do
any
look suspicious.
in your circle that would be targeting him for any reason?
Martinelli just kind of like thinks for a second. He goes, "None that I can think. Arminius was well liked. I don't know why they think that even I would do something like this."
Would I be able to roll? I don't know if this is
See if
the
he's lying.
for it in insight check.
Ooh.
Yes, you can see. You can roll insight to see if he's being honest. From what you could tell, of course, insight isn't like you don't read his mind, but you can say like, oh, like he looks genuine or not, or along those lines. A really good liar would look genuine, but it does help. 15. He does look genuine. I mean, he looks perturbed, tired by the events, unsure about what he's gonna do or what's gonna happen from here.
I'm sorry if I missed it. Did Linus ask Martinelli like what his dominant hand was?
No.
No. Okay. I would like to ask him then. What is your dominant hand?
He holds up his right hand.
Okay. What side of the body was the wound on?
The left shoulder blade.
Hmm.
It's like right. It's like slipped right up underneath the left shoulder blade into the what is it? What is that? What is that called? The thoracic cavity.
Oh.
Thoracic cavity.
Scapula. Scapula, got it.
It is.
Woohoo!
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I was right. I've watched enough now.
Name that bone.
It's lupus.
Oh!
So
It's never lupus.
So I'm guessing we would all hear Linus's like conversation with him, right? Since we're all like in the room.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe you mentioned this and maybe I missed it. Did he have like the sheath or like the dagger like on his belt, like clipped onto the?
Yes, it is on his belt.
Okay. I would like to ask him if he said that his dagger is normally kept in the study. Why do you have the sheath on you?
No, he said he normally keeps it on him, but he left it in the study.
Okay.
Else access
Well,
to the
I
study?
still want to know if he left it at the study. Why did he have the sheath on him now? Did he go and like what happened?
No, like
He kind of looks down. He's like I was using it for something in the study, and I left it in there.
What were you using it for?
Cutting an apple.
Do
Well,
you
that's
normally
unsanitary.
do you normally keep your study secure? Like, does it have a lock on the door, or how easily accessible would it be for somebody to get in?
Normally, I would lock it if I'm in there, but when I'm not, no, not typically. If someone wanted to get in there, certainly they could get in. Even if it was locked, they could just pick the lock. But yeah, anyone could have gotten in there.
Okay.
anyone else around you at the time that this happened that might have seen that it wasn't you?
That when I found the body, well, certainly no. They heard the scuffle and people fled into the main hall here from the dining area, and I'm afraid that no one else was here.
So you found the body first.
Yes. I came in from my study. I was walking back from there, and walking back to there from the kitchen because I had forgot something. Um, one of the notes I wanted to give to Arminius to suggest that we partner. Uh, and that's when I walked back and I noticed him on the ground with my dagger in his back.
Can anybody corroborate your whereabouts? Did anybody see you in the kitchen walking towards here at a time, or you in the hallway from the kitchen towards the towards your study?
I'm not sure. You have to ask them. They haven't really let me talk to anyone. They've kind of made me
Okay.
sit over here.
Well, did you see anybody
Did I see anyone?
while, on your way back?
No, well, let's see. So we had dinner, and I went to my study because a note had arrived from a courier, and I went to my study to read it and continued eating part of my meal, the said apple. Um, and once I had finished writing a reply, and I came back out, sent it to give it to the courier, and the courier left. I went back in the dining room, and then I realized I had forgotten my letter that I wanted to give Arminius, and that's at which point I had came out. I had probably been in the dining room for 15, 20 minutes before I came back out to go to the back to my study. And Arminius had probably left. He said to use the washroom. Though, who knows why he had really left. About 10, 15 minutes before that.
Oh,
I kind of feel like we should maybe try to look for a couple clues in his study. See if that reveals anything.
okay.
Is y'all all gonna go together, or you gonna split up? Some people are gonna do certain things. Some people are gonna do others.
I could
I'll go
split.
with Gurkle, but I'm gonna eventually come back and down and ask all the all the other. Actually, you know what? First, I'm gonna go
I'm
ask
going
the.
over here.
I'm gonna go first to the dining room and ask the other people at the party questions.
So Linus and Jekyll are going together to do that. I mean, everybody can go and y'all are all helping each other. So someone can go down and look at the study bow while you're doing that. Like
Yeah.
you don't have to do it. You don't have to do every single part.
I know.
Um. So Boots and Azrael and Gurkle, what are y'all doing?
I would like to go to his to the study.
So Gurkle and Boots are going to the study, or Boot? I can't tell if Boots was doing that or if Boots was just standing down in that corner.
I was standing in that corner, but I will go to the study.
Okay. And Azrael, you're exploring the house more.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. We'll start with.
Is the study elsewhere?
The study is down below, down
Down below.
south. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That room is a different room. That if you do want to go to that place, we can. But the study is down with the blue desk. Down below here. Yep. All right. So the three of you went there, and then the other two went to the kitchen. All right. So, we're gonna go through an alternating thing here. The people who haven't been able to really go yet, Shekel, we'll let you go. What does Shekel want to do?
Okay, I want to talk to the person in this like top left corner.
The lady.
Yeah, right next to me.
All right. She kind of nods at you as you walk in, and she goes, "I'm sorry. Who is this? Who are you? We've been out in here so long. Do you have any information about what's going on out there?"
I've been hired as a separate investigator But right now I'm trying to gather information. Is there anything you can give me about the party?
Well, of course. What kind of information would you like to know? I'd be more than welcome to help, if at all, just to get out of here. I've been here for quite a while since the murder happened last night.
How long exactly would you say?
Have we been here? Well, the murder happened pretty late at night, probably around 10:30, 11 o'clock. The party had started around 7. Um, and right now, you know the time. The time right now is about 1 o'clock in the morning. So it's been about 12 hours since the murder.
So when did the when did the guard get here?
The guard got here um a few hours afterwards. We had to send a messenger. Um, no one would leave. Everyone kind of kept each other here until then. The house guard. Um, there are guard stations closer by, so they didn't have to go all the way back to town. But it did still take like a couple hours for someone to, like 45 minutes to get to the guard station, um, and to let them know. Um, but um, she continues, and she goes, Martinelli's guard wouldn't let us leave. He kept saying it wasn't him, and he wanted to make sure that they found the killer. But I don't know how it couldn't be him. We walked in with his hand on the knife. I mean,
I
and
mean,
she's kind of dabbing away tears with a handkerchief. Chief.
I'm sure if you happened upon a body with your knife in it, you would be concerned that your knife is in it.
I'm sorry. I can't say that I have a knife. It's
Right?
very improper.
Where were you when that happened?
In here, of course. We were continuing having supper. And then afternoon drinks, or afternoon, no, evening drinks. What am I saying? That was me saying a wrong word, not her.
Who would you notice to have been missing besides Martinelli?
Um, well, obviously Arminius. Other than that, people came and went to the washroom or to discuss other things in the hall in private. We weren't all forced to stay in here, so I think at any point, most of the people um, still here, they probably left at one point or another. Um, in all honesty, the only people didn't really go anywhere that stayed in the room the entire night. They've already left. The guard kind of cleared them after we had all said that they hadn't left the room. Um, didn't really help my case though. I'm still stuck here, aren't I?
So did you leave the room?
Certainly. I went to the washroom.
Did you see anything suspicious?
Nothing too suspicious. I saw Martinelli walking down to his study, and other than that, I came back in after going to the washroom, and that's about it.
Do you happen to know the reason why he was walking down to his study?
Um,
And
he
anything?
gave some excuse about a courier. I didn't walk into the main hall to see if a courier had arrived, but I did hear horse hooves in the middle of the night. Yes.
Did you happen to see anything else while you were out and about? Were you out where, like, around the time that it seemed to have happened?
No, I went to the washroom about 30, 45 minutes before. Well, at least before we found him doing.
Who exactly found him?
Um, most of the people who were in the hall, we heard the scuffle. Uh, there was a loud crash. I think some things had fallen off of a table in the hall, and so a few of us had walked out and found him there. Mostly everyone uh, stayed in, or mostly everyone left the room and went in there. I mean, it was quite a loud noise.
Did you notice anyone missing when everyone rushed there?
Um, the only person that was missing was Martinelli.
Everyone else was there to check on the ruckus?
Are you saying that out of character or in character?
No, yeah.
She goes, well, I can't say who really stayed behind. I went out to look. Uh, I assume some people stayed in their seats, certainly.
Do you have anything else you can think of?
I'm not sure why Martinelli would do this. It doesn't make sense to me.
Why is that?
Martinelli already had a successful business. I can't see there being a reason for him to have killed Arminius, especially since there was rumors going along that he wanted to create a business partnership.
There were already rumors going on about that before this shindig.
Of course, that's half of what we do for fun is talking gossip.
Is there anyone else who's more known for being knowledgeable about gossip?
Well, certainly Lady Caitlin over in the corner. And she kind of like looks down when she says that, as the lady does notice her gesturing towards her. She's fairly knowledgeable.
Is there anyone here that you're a bit concerned about being dangerous, maybe?
Um, Dangerous? I'm honestly, I couldn't tell you. These are the same people that I've been in this area with for a long time.
Okay, thank you.
She kind of nods and then, goes back to dabbing away tears. Um,
Does she seem like she's being dramatic?
um, Roll insight.
Okie dokie. Inside, I think I have a nothing on that. I'm so useful.
Boots, you're next, so start thinking about what you want to do.
Sorry, I have a trouble
Oh, you're fine.
looking at this thing sometimes.
Yeah, you just have to roll a d20. That's it. If you don't have a bonus to it, then that should be fine.
No, I was just seeing if I had a bonus.
I see.
D&D a bit complicated for me. It's fine, I got it.
She does look like she's hamming it up, but she does seem actually shaken. Like she seems to be making it like, oh, how could this have happened to me? She's making it more about herself than it should be, but she does seem actually shaken up by it.
Rich people.
Rich
Yeah.
people. Yep.
Okay.
All right, and we'll cut down to Boots real quick.
So I'm in the study. Is there anything disheveled or like it looks? Is there anything that looks like it was probably messed with in here, other than maybe what normally its placement would be?
Well, without knowing the normal placement,
Yeah.
you can't tell. It's not very disheveled, so it really doesn't look too. It looks like the normal amount of disheveledness for an office.
Gotcha.
There's
That's
papers and
cool.
stuff lying around.
Is there anything on? Is that the desk in the middle?
Yeah. That's it's more like a table with a chest. Like there's a chest here, there's a table here, but the desk is over in the bottom right.
Okay. Is there anything on the desk?
There's a little book, like a little portfolio kind of.
Okay. Is there anything like written on the cover of it? Sorry.
It does have the house seal that you noticed on the sign at the front. Which
Okay.
is like a golden M with a like a little like the inn kind of flourishes up, and there's a little golden apple.
Okay. I pick up the book and look inside of it.
Yeah, it's got a little latch on it, but it's not locked. When you open it, it does look to be like some type of record for the financials of the house.
Okay.
Bit of the business. Not fairly detailed, but overarching. Something not really day to day, but more along the lines of like a
His financials seem to be doing well.
From what you can tell Martinelli seems to be doing quite well for himself.
Okay.
And it has been steadily increasing over the past 10 years.
Gotcha.
It seems because this is like a quarterly kind of planner. So it seems that he's been increasing, not every quarter, but it's every year. Year over year has been quite good for Martinelli.
Alrighty. I close the book. I gesture looking over my shoulder towards Gurkle and Azrael. And Martinelli seems to be doing well for himself. I put it back on the table, the desk. Sorry. And I'm sorry. What is? I don't know how to mark. It just won't let me. The bottom middle section of that room. What is that?
This,
Yes.
it's a fireplace.
It's a fireplace.
It's kind of hard to tell, but that's like a top view of the fireplace. It's like a little like the fireplace itself isn't recessed into the wall. Like looks like it was added after the fact.
Gotcha. Is there anything in the fireplace out of the ordinary other than
No,
in it,
it's
like wood or?
just wood,
Okay.
and the wood is on fire. It's a normal
Okay.
it's like a. It looks like maybe it's been kept fairly well. Like the servants of the house have been going around keeping it stoked.
Okay. I think I'm good for now because I don't know what else to check right.
Okay. Yeah, and since the three of y'all are down there, since it's not conversation, it doesn't really stop everybody from y'all. Azrael, Gurkle, and Boots, you can kind of throw ideas around since
Yeah,
listening to
I just didn't
conversation
know
does
how
kind
you
of
wanted
stop.
to handle that. If you wanted to just go person to person.
No, for conversation, I'm kind of doing that because conversations you can only have so many people in a conversation if it's split like that.
Yeah.
So obviously Shekel and Linus can be working together up top. But
And then
everyone
us three down here. Okay,
yeah,
makes sense.
if you have stuff to add, yes.
Yeah. Martinelli mentioned that he was in here cutting up an apple, right? Is there any evidence of that in this room?
There is a browning apple on a tray over here that looks like it has pieces cut out of it.
Okay.
Like if you cut an apple open, it starts to oxidize.
Mm-hmm.
So the apple itself does look cut, like it was cut a while ago. They turn brown pretty fast. So.
It seems an apple a day
But it's
didn't
not-
keep that
it's
killer
not like-
away.
Oh,
It's not
inspiration,
like rotten or anything.
What'd she say?
Like it just looks like
did
it
you
was.
get inspiration?
Thank you.
I hate that. Hated
Like it
that.
was just looked like maybe it was like cut the night before, right?
Yeah.
So it
Slightly
kind of
dried
lines
out.
up with what he was saying. Okay. On the table or in the desks or anything like that, can I search for the note that Martinelli mentioned about forming the partnership?
There is no note like visible. Like it's not on like the top of the desk.
We actually don't know what the contents of that note was.
Well,
He
Martinelli
never
said
mentioned that.
that he wanted to make or he had the note that stated that he wanted to start a partnership, right?
No, he never said what the note was about. He just said that it came by courier and then he was writing a reply about it.
There was 2 notes. He said the note for the victim was about the partnership, but there was a note by courier that he never talked about.
He never specified what was in it, at least, for
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm talking about the note that he wanted to give to what's his
The
name?
victim.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was
the
Oh.
gonna
victim
say,
on
I'm
the
pretty
stick.
sure you had documentation of it.
What?
Talked about what he
Sorry.
was doing to the victim.
The narrator was discussing food with the other narrator.
I've never heard the other
The
narrator
narrator's
speak.
wife. The other narrator's wife.
Narrator's wife.
It's like
The
the
other
movie, right?
narrator's wife.
The
The other
narrator-
the
narrator's
narrator's
wife.
boss.
The other narrator is me. I have multiple personalities. No, the
That's
other
okay.
narrator, my wife. I was talking to Casey. No, I was about supper. I didn't eat anything since like I don't know, 8 this morning.
You
So
dingus.
yeah, I just wasn't hungry.
okay. Happens.
But now I am. Now I'm starving. So yeah. So what was you wanted to see if there was a letter? There was no letter just sitting out on the desk. I'll give you that.
Okay. Would I be able to go through the desk and search like in the drawers and stuff?
Sure. Yeah, there's a few drawers on the in the desk. There's one at the in the middle. And then there is a couple like a bigger drawer, like filing cabinet kind of style.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like one big drawer above that's another drawer, and then there's a big main drawer uh, as well.
Okay. Yeah, I would like to take my time and kind of search through all those drawers.
Okay, so in the main drawer seems to be like the big one in the center of the desk, the like the long drawer, and like like it goes above your lap,
Yeah.
and like one of those nice desks. That one's locked. Does seem to be a keyhole. There is the big drawer. The big drawer opens up, and there does seem to be some papers and uh things like that stacked inside of there in like little trays. It's like slotted in trays. Um, and um, go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Uh,
The narrator would like
15.
everyone to know that the bonk drone is evaluating your movement. Trey is watching.
Uh, you said that was investigation, right?
Yes. Roll, and then I'll roll the d20 to see how much damage you take.
Uh
Ooh,
No, I'm just kidding.
oh. You did say that was investigation, right?
yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So I have a -2.
I
So
rolled a
13.
20.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hello.
Okay, no one was saying anything.
I'm just waiting for him to roll. Oh, you rolled in your
I
thing.
already.
Sorry.
Yeah.
He did a 13. I saw it.
Yeah.
I didn't
I haven't touched
Discord
it.
open. Well, I can't see on your thing. I see. So you rolled a 13?
Yeah.
Sorry. I was waiting in roll 20. I was just sitting here staring at roll 20.
I was
Um,
confused. I was like, what?
I'm on like 2 hours of sleep. Let's
Yeah,
go.
yeah, you're fine.
Yeah, so inside that you see 13. You see a bunch of financial papers. It's hard for you to glean really what any of them mean. None of them stick out to you. They all just kind of look like they hold information about um prices of certain like things being sold, like stock being sold or seed being purchased, things like that.
Okay.
And you like to look in the top drawer that's above that. Um, you see like a pin set, like a nice fountain pen with, or not fountain pen, but like a calligraphy set kind of pen. So it's kind of like an inkwell and a quill, but it's not really a quill. It doesn't have a feather. It's just like
Mm-hmm.
a nibbed pin. It's called the tip of it's called a nib. It also just happens to be the form of a currency in D&D. Yes, but um what else would you like to do, Garfield?
That was all the drawers, right?
The ones that you could open, yeah.
Okay.
There is a locked one still.
Yeah. I'll mention that to Azrael and Boots, and just mention that we should probably try to find a key, or maybe even ask Martinelli, what's in this drawer.
Okay. And Azrael, what are you looking at? Have you looked at anything in the room that you wanted to, or? Azrael muted.
Typing.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. Linus, what are you doing?
Sorry, I was watching this Spider-Man trailer that came out an hour ago. While everybody's
Linus in the middle of a conversation with somebody's like, man, that was a good Spider-Man trailer.
The actual. Never mind.
Yeah,
I'm
the
not gonna.
teaser
I'm
trailer-
not. No. Just
Nope,
go
we're
with
playing
your
D&D.
Okay.
You
So,
can talk about it afterwards.
Yeah, you go after I posted in one of the chats. Okay, I am basically gonna go around the room and ask. Well, I don't know if you want me to do it this way or you want to take turns.
You can talk to you and Shekel can talk to a person, like who you're talking to.
Because I plan to ask certain questions, like about 8 to 10 questions per person.
That's fine. You just choose a person you want to talk to.
Okay, I will start with the lady that
Which
I'm
one?
near.
This one. I got it. All right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hold on.
So
So
she's eyeing you as you get closer. Yeah.
well, hello, ma'am. How you doing? Despite all the circumstances that couldn't happen.
Well, I certainly could be doing better.
I'm sure you could. My name is Linus. Owain Killian Issad. I'm a mage from Waterdeep, but I'm also an investigator. And I just am brought in as an independent counsel and investigation team just to find out questions. And I do have some questions for you if you don't mind.
Well, I do mind, but seeing as I want to leave this place soon, I guess I will humor you.
And that's good. I mean, the sooner we get this done, the sooner everyone can leave. Now, may I have your name?
My name is Lady Caitlin.
Thank you. Now, Lady Caitlin, how do you know the victim?
The victim? Well, I mean, I know him as an acquaintance, a business acquaintance. Uh, Other than that, I do not know him personally, though I have seen and talked to him many times at these parties.
So, but you said he was a business acquaintance. Is that you in business with him, or if you are married, is your husband in business with him?
Yes, my husband is.
Okay. But you usually do not have any conversations with him or talk to him?
Only fleeting conversations here and there.
Okay.
Real quick,
I'm
Shekel,
gonna-
Shekel, are you also in this conversation?
I'm listening in on this room.
Okay.
At this point, I should have been done with the last lady. So
Yeah, no,
Um,
we'll say that. Yeah, we can say that everyone's grouped up and doing this together. I just didn't want people to be having to do everything, one person to be doing everything or something, or something along that lines, or else to be waiting for a bunch of conversation to be done. So that's why switching back and forth.
Yeah.
Real quick, I
Go
need to
ahead.
step away. I'll be right back.
You're fine.
Mask, what you do, first of all, is your husband here with you tonight
Of course. And she points to the man
on the
to her
opposite side
left.
of me?
Yeah.
Okay. And what do you both do for a living, if I may ask?
Well, I can't say that I have a living besides being the lady of the house, if unless that's what you're asking. My husband, however, leads a rather lucrative trading operation throughout the region. He helps with distribution.
Thank you. I have my little notebook. I'm writing this down.
Mhm.
Were you and the victim on, would you say, good terms?
I would think so. I mean, Arminius was one of our primary suppliers. We helped distribute his goods. And she kind of smiles and swells up her chest proudly and goes, and even as far as Waterdeep.
That's very good indeed. When did you see the deceased last?
Well, I assume, last night we were speaking of the incident. Um, Before the incident, about, I'm not sure, 20 minutes before that, 15? Uh, it couldn't have been long. He went to go use the washroom. And other than that, that was the last time I had seen him. Until, of course, we saw him in the body. Martinelli in the body, I mean.
Okay. Did where were you at the time of the murder? Were you and your husband still in this room the whole night, or were you in the hall outside, or?
We were in here, but we did go outside and see the body with Martinelli near it.
Can anyone other than your husband corroborate your whereabouts? Can they verify that you were here at the time?
Everyone here should have been able to that I was here. I During the time of the murder, you mean, or
Well, when yes, between the time between the time Arminius left the room and by the time the body was discovered. Yes.
um, I would assume everyone here would be able to corroborate that.
Okay.
It wasn't.
If that's the case, then why would you still be being held here by the guard?
Well, that's a good question, isn't it?
It means that there's got to be a reason for you to need to stay. You
No,
can't be innocent.
it could be that there could be a lot of different reasons. Maybe the husband chose. We haven't talked to the husband yet. But we don't know yet. We've got some more questions. But that we'll have to come back to. We'll circle back to that. That's a good point. Uh, do you know have anyone might have a reason to kill the victim
Um, well,
besides supposedly Martinelli?
besides Martinelli, no, I can't imagine who. Everyone here has great business with Arminius, or had great business.
Okay. Do you know who will benefit from the victim's death? Did he have a will or something that you would think that
Um,
would benefit from his death besides, of course, the suspect?
Not that I would honestly know. We don't typically discuss the laws of and the inheritance however you want to say it. We don't.
But there's
They,
no like
they
rumors
wouldn't
that
know.
like somebody.
Um, oh, if you're inquiring about whether or not he has an heir, no, Arminius was by himself, as far as I know. Um,
Okay.
I'm not really sure uh, who would take over.
What was your reason for coming here besides, of course, murder? I mean, But what? But besides the other than the murder, what was your reason to come here? What was it? Just the party?
Well, of course, gossip and alcohol. Normally you can't go wrong.
Okay. And one last question. I'm sorry to bother you. Just saying, make a note of that. How loud was it in here during the scuffle out there? Was there music in here? Was the fire roaring? Were people talking? Could you hear people across the room?
Yes, there was no music. The bar canceled late that day, so we were unable to have music. It is a strange thing indeed. Typically, we do have something playing in the background, which made it all the stranger. We were able to hear the noise and run out there and see it.
Were the doors open, or were they closed in here?
The doors were open. There
Okay,
was
well,
no
thank
reason
you.
to close them.
I'm just curious. Okay, great. Thank you. Well, thank you, Lady Caitlin. I might have some more further questions for you later on, but for right now, I hope you have a best time you can have while you're under this situation, and I will stop answering questions to you.
Shackle, did you have any questions for her while you're both standing there?
No, I think I'm gonna need to talk to the guard soon.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, feel free to, which guard would you like to talk to?
The main one that initially talked to us. I just had a couple questions about the people who
I
were.
did forget there was a guard standing here. I forgot to put him back there. I was like, wait a minute, there's supposed to be a guard up there. I deleted him. Sorry. Which one?
The one that initially talked to us that got real aggressive. I can't.
Okay, so
The one by the
it
body.
was this one. Yeah, it was this one. Azrael, you came out of that room down below as well.
Yes.
Okay. Garkle and Boots, are y'all gonna stay down in the office and or study and look for um some more things, or what are you what are y'all planning to do?
I don't think Nick's back yet.
Oh, that's right. You had to go.
Uh, I guess I'll go back to the main hall.
Okay. All right. So yeah, feel free to move now. All right. Um I guess we'll switch over to the main hall group right now. Um Azrael and Boots, as you walk in, you see Shekel walking in from the doorway up here. Shekel, you see the inverse.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, yeah. Whatever y'all want to do, whatever you want to talk about, or talk to whom, just let me know.
I want to talk to this guy.
Okay. Yeah, go free.
So, of the people in the dining hall, what I know you said you released a bunch of people you thought it couldn't possibly be. So, why in particular have you kept, say, I don't know, Caitlin in there?
Lady Caitlin? Well, the reason we kept those people is they had left outside the party since the last time Arminius had left the group. So those were the only people who had, um, or sorry, that had left around that time. Whether to go to the washroom or to have a conversation. Some of them say, of course. Um, uh, but those are the other witnesses, are the other prime candidates. Uh, not that I think any of them are guilty. Honestly, I think it's Martinelli. I'm pretty good at my job.
I'm sure you.
You cut out a little bit.
I I was Azrael made a scoff noise.
Scoff all you want, but I'm the best detective that we have here. And he kind of smiles and looks off to the. He looks off into the air like Gilderoy Lockhart.
Well, since you're so good at all of this stuff, surely you have other evidence that would point towards someone else that isn't particularly Martinelli.
And it's because I'm so good at this that I can tell you that all evidence points to Martinelli.
All of it? Even in a regular murder, you wouldn't have every part of evidence to point towards one person.
And how many regular murders have you seen or been a part of?
I like looking at him.
He kind of seems he seems confused by that statement. That's about it. Though. He's like, oh, okay.
So, you know, the evidence usually isn't that straightforward as far as I'm concerned. I've investigated things, maybe not murder, but it's not as if we've been hired for no reason.
What pieces of evidence do you have? Is it just the knife?
Uh, well, I mean, means. Obviously, he was alone at the time with the victim. He points at the body. Since they found him with his hand on the dagger. Obviously, motive. He uh, was poised to take over his business, basically. Where a gaping hole would have been, Martinelli's could have easily swooped in and filled that void, um, and sold even more. Uh, and of course, opportunity. Obviously, had opportunity since everyone found him again with the dagger in his hand in the body.
Can anyone here cast magic? Do you know of?
Um, not that I know of. It's rather rare around these parts. We don't have too many people uh, that gifted. Not in our town. It's quite small. We've had a couple here and there, but they've gone off uh, to colleges and universities of the such. Not much to learn around these parts when it comes to the arcane arts.
Are you positive that the knife is what killed him?
Um, well, I'm no doctor, but there's a lot of blood everywhere. And the knife is in his back. Other than that, I can't see. Sure, I guess he could have been killed by other means and then stabbed, but either way, Martinelli had the blood on his hands, literally. Sorry, I was letting my
Who
wife know that the food
examined
was
the
dropped.
body?
Who examined the body? Do you mean one of us or who
What
examined it first?
out of character?
Oh, you said who is? Wait, what was the question again? I want to double check. Make sure I heard it right.
Osriel wants to examine the body.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, the guard won't let you touch it. If you try to touch it, he'll kind of like not shoo you away, but he'll be like, No touching." He's like, "You can look. If you need to touch something, let me know."
Could you just exactly what the wound looks like? Is there anything in particular that
The
not have
wound
anything to do
itself,
with it?
it looks like a pretty clean cut right underneath the left shoulder blade. There's plenty of dried blood around the area. From the angle, it looks like the blade probably pierced into a lung, which is probably what allowed the victim to move a few feet before he collapsed um, onto the against that end table, knocking over a couple things.
Seem to be anything like defensive looking? Is he on his stomach?
He is on his stomach, yes.
So is there anything maybe we could
Defensive wounds.
look at the front of him to see any sort of defensive wounds?
Well, we can turn him over if you'd like. So the guard walks over and kind of like turns him over on his side and leans him over so you can kind of like look at him. There doesn't seem to be any um defensive wounds. The eyes are closed, but the guard points at the eyes and goes, "His eyes were open when he died. We of course closed them after the fact. But everything else here, no, we couldn't see any defensive wounds or any other methods of death.
Hear that maybe he was poisoned or anything?
Um, we have no means of really checking that, but um, judging by the timing, it might be hard for him to have certain poisons unless it. Um, I'm not sure if it would have been prudent for him to be poisoned in the other room, um, or prudent for him to be poisoned here and then stabbed. But we don't have methods of really detecting that.
Is there any way of being able to tell if he was already pretty severely, I don't know, intoxicated or whatever? Like maybe got stabbed
Um,
post mortem.
he, you could probably ask people how much he had to drink, but you wouldn't be able to tell by based off of the body.
What about being stabbed post mortem?
Um, there is bruising around the wound. Um, well, sorry, roll. Go ahead and roll a, either an investigation or medical, like something along those lines. Not sure you would know what I was about to say.
Oh Lord, we're not doing medicine. Did you roll that?
Yeah. I would like to do a medicine check.
Okay, the 16 was a medicine check.
Investigation. Ooh, that sucked.
We'll go with the medicine check. Azrael, yeah, you recognize that there is bruising along the where the cut, where like the hilt had slapped into the body, um, and I don't know if it's technically accurate. I think it is. You know that somehow you know, I guess, based off of your cleric training, that the bruising like that doesn't typically happen on a post mortem wound. It usually happens while blood is still flowing throughout the body. So it does look like that is the cause of death to you, based off of that. I'm also not going to Google post-mortem bruising because I feel like that'll put me on the FBI's watch list.
Not
So
to
we're going to
mention
assume
what
that's
might come up from that.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to assume I'm correct there. Maybe Casey would know. Do bodies bruise after they die?
They do, but not in the way that you think. Not because you punched it, but the blood will start to move around and sit where it was touching the ground. So they'll start recreating bruising in the way that it was sitting. So if he died face down, there would be bruising on like his chest and like face area.
Yeah, like the front of the body.
Yeah. Well, assuming he didn't catch himself, but yes.
Just to like indicate that the body's been sitting there a while, the blood will just settle.
Oh well, yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
He hasn't been here a super long time.
No, it was only 12 hours. All the blood, of course, is dried and brown by this time. I didn't have brown blood, so the red blood. The red blood signifies the brown blood. Yeah, we've got brown blood.
That's
Nice.
That's not as good.
Damn it. Kane was here. Okay. Because he would use the spell, so I wouldn't have to. Okay.
Wow.
I guess would I be able to use detect magic?
Sure. I mean, you can use that. Is that what you want to use that, or do you have it?
Yeah.
Or okay, the way. Yeah, I mean, of course you could use detect magic. Yeah. Um. Sure.
I have to roll for that? Sorry, I haven't used that one yet.
I don't believe you do. I'm pretty sure it's just a durational spell. I wanted to look and see how long it lasts. But yeah, no. You don't sense any magical aura near you actually at all, almost. Was that within 30 feet of you? Yeah, within 30 feet, you don't sense really any magical aura. Besides maybe your companion's magical items. But you don't sense anything that that seems out of place, especially on the body. Whether that means that the magic has faded already, or if there was magic to begin with, you're not really sure. It's kind of hard to tell.
That's frustrating.
Is there any other sort of like evidence around the body? Besides like the dragging, I know you mentioned dragging a little bit.
Other than that, not really. Not too much. I mean, it seemed uh pretty simplistic, pretty mundane. Like he gets stabbed in the back, stumbled as his lungs filled with blood, collapsed as his body couldn't provide it with enough oxygen before he suffocated, or technically asphyxiated, I suppose.
Is there any area with enough splatter where it would indicate that he stabbed there?
Where Boots is standing.
Get out of there.
Boots isn't standing on the blood, but Boots is standing on the blood.
Thank you.
Does it kind of indicate that the person who stabbed them came in the door?
Yeah, I mean it's safe to assume from the distance to the door that they either were already in the room with them or they came in from that doorway when the target wasn't looking. The victim, their target. And they stabbed them in the back, and then you're not really sure whether or not they fled that area. Or let me rephrase. You're obviously either A, Martinelli did it and didn't flee, or B, somebody did it and did flee. So that's, I guess, what you know.
He facing Martinelli is now.
In general, yeah.
Those wraparound sofa things.
Yeah.
So I guess from where the body is, the attacker probably, to have the best element of surprise, I guess, would have had to come straight through the double doors to the building, following that red carpet directly up to where the body is. Because otherwise it wouldn't make sense to take, I think, what the other doorway is, this one.
Yeah, but he was stabbed here.
They could have come down from either this way or up this way.
Does it look like he's kind of like facing something? Like maybe he was trying to crawl towards someone?
Not in general. There's a little table here. These are little tables. This one is kind of like upended a little bit from where he hit it. Kind of like leaned.
Become human.
And what? Lick the blood and
Yeah.
tell you whose it is?
Lick the blood and then just be able to tell the whole scene and who did it.
Blood.
That's not gonna get me far.
Connor, stop licking the blood.
There's other people in the room, you silly goose. You can talk to them.
Yeah. So, we're gonna go head down to Gurkle since Gurkle's been back now. Gurkle, what you doing?
So I missed a little bit. Did anybody ask, just kind of in general, if
No.
for let me see how I could word this. If essentially, if anybody had any reason to be on this side of the house, like I know Martinelli said that he was in the study, doing something, right? Was there anybody else on this side of the house?
Nobody asked that
Okay.
particularly.
I guess I would move back into this main room, and I would ask Martinelli that same question. If there was anybody else on kind of this wing of the estate.
No, not that I wouldn't. Not that I can see a reason. The servants' quarters are over there. Other than that, no, I can't imagine. At least I didn't see anyone over there.
Okay. Um.
I'm not gonna metagame, but there was another question you wanted to ask Martinelli. You said you wanted to ask him before you left. I'll remind you since you did have to go for a little bit.
Oh, about the key for the desk
I don't
drawer.
remember what it was. You just said you wanted to
I'm
talk
pretty
to
sure
Martinelli.
that's what it was. Well, anyway, I will ask him what is in the kind of the top middle desk drawer in his study.
Sorry, give me a second. I was choking on some drink. Martinelli wasn't. I was. He goes, well, those are some important documents and uh, some gold, things like that.
Uh, what kind
Is
of
there any reason
important
you asked?
documents?
Um, well, important documents personally and for the business, of course.
Okay. Um, 1 second.
If you'd like to look through it, I can give you the key. If you think that it would help exonerate me.
You know what? Sure, I'll take you up on that. I'll request
He
the
hands
key
you a
from him.
small, copper colored key, like brass copper colored.
Okay. Yeah, I'll walk back down here and open the desk drawer.
Okay, while you're doing that, we're gonna switch up to the north room again. Linus.
Okay. I sent you a question, Azrael, in
in
Discord.
Discord?
I don't know if you got it.
Oh.
Not to you, to Azrael. I went through Shekel, but because I didn't see her name in there, so. Okay. I turned to the husband, I guess now, and asked basically the same questions. Well, I know some of the questions, but
At first, he kind of seems to ignore you. And as you keep kind of trying to talk to him, he goes, "Look, people have been asking me questions all night. I'm done. You can ask your questions to other people. I'm just gonna sit here." And
okay.
he's drinking something from a jar, not a jar, but like a flagon.
I look at his feet, his shoes in particular.
Mm-hmm.
Looking to see if they're, and actually her shoes as well. Seeing that while the person may have washed their hands and their arms, they may not have washed their feet of bloodstains. Is there any bloodstains on either of their feet? Those shoes?
Roll investigation.
I am re-rolling. I'm changing my divination to make it a 17. So +5 is a 22.
Okay. The shoes don't look perfectly clean, but they don't seem like they have any blood on them. They look fairly like clean for like a rich person, but they don't look newly cleaned. To your eyes at least, since you rolled so well. So you can tell that those their boots, their shoes have not been cleaned in a couple weeks at least.
I can understand. Times must be tough. Okay, moving on. I go up to talk to the man up here then.
Okay.
And I'll ask him the questions I asked from before.
He's a servant. He's kind of like stutters and he goes, "Yes, how may I help you?"
Yes. May I have your name, please?
My name is let me let me unlock it so you can see it. My name is Orr. Just Orr.
And your job here?
Well, I'm a servant.
I know, but
Sir.
what kind of servant? Are you like a butler, or are you like a chamber servant, or are you like a waiter, or do
Yes.
you clean the chamber
Yes.
pots?
I'm a waiter and
It's an overall servant.
and
Okay.
a servant. Yes.
Okay.
He seems
And
he seems nervous. What you can say? It's pretty
okay.
odd.
There's no need to be nervous. Just relax. You can sit down if you'd like. While we talk. Were you on good terms with the victim? Did you know him?
He had been here a couple times, and I have served him before, but of course, I've never really spoken to him.
When did you last see the deceased tonight?
Last night, but
Or last night? Excuse me. I apologize.
no, I was correcting you, not him. He's not going to
sorry.
correct somebody. He's a servant.
You might be obstinate. I don't know.
He could be obstinate. You're right. But he's not. Sir, I last saw him. He left like 20 something minutes before he was murdered, and honestly, that's the last time I saw him. Well, he seems very nervous when he said that. Very.
Okay. Oh, just a second. Got the questions written down here. Now, were you in here when the murder took place, or were you in the hallways, or where were you at the time of the murder?
I was. He's not sure what to like say. He's kind of like not sure he wants to talk. Go ahead and roll insight, Bo, quick.
What the hell is my insight? Okay, +5 on that too.
You're a wizard. You should have high insight.
Yeah. I will use the 12 I have and get a 17.
Nice. All right. With that 17,
You
can
can't use
tell
the
the
number
last-
twice, Bo.
No, I used the 17 last time. This time I used the 12
He-
and got a 17. Because I have a +5 to
the +5 bonus made it. a
Oh,
17
sorry,
last
I
time, yeah.
misunderstood.
It's okay. It's understandable. Don't worry.
With that number, yeah. The last question that you asked about whether or not he had seen the person, after they had left the room, had made him very nervous. You feel like maybe he's hiding something, that he might know more.
Okay, well, just relax. I just want you to relax. I just shovel down and look down and just look like I'm studying something on my paper and try to see at his legs and feet and see if it's got blood on them as well, like everybody else.
See, for these,
Like on the top, like
his
on the tops of the shoes, not like I wouldn't look, of course, on
Yeah.
the bottom.
yeah, no, they look muddy, but they don't look. Like they're not.
Don't have
They're
blood
not
stains.
muddy, but they're dirty. They're not rich people shoes.
Yeah, but they
They're-
don't have
they're
obvious
clean.
blood stains on them, is what I'm saying.
They do not.
Okay. Now I understand you're nervous. See, there's a lot of big people in here, which you'll feel that you would get in trouble. But trust me, you will not get in trouble. I am on your side. I was raised in the gutter. I came up from nothing.
You say that, but then you'd understand that they always blame the butler.
I understand that, but in this
Yep,
case, they're
that's
not
'cause
blaming the butler.
did it.
They're not blaming the butler, and I
You're
want you to help me out and help me to help you. Isn't is Mr. Martinelli your master?
Yes, sir.
Is he a good master?
No,
He's the only one I've ever had, but I have no complaints. He's been kind to me,
But
kinder
okay,
than most would be.
now if he
you
is
really
taken,
turned on when I
if
told
he
you.
is taken to prison, do you think his daughter will be able to keep and run this place, or would she be run out? And then somebody comes in. Would your next master be as kind or be as fair as him?
Well,
So-
I imagine his daughter would take over. Yes, I'm not
Yes,
really sure, but
But what happens if she doesn't? What if she can't and things get worse, or somebody else takes over? All I want is the truth, and we shall get to the truth. And you know what? If it turns out he is innocent, you will have saved your master's life, his business.
I Okay,
It's your
so-
duty as a servant to
Roll
help
persuasion.
your master.
roll persuasion.
Fuck that! I don't have bonuses in.
Uh-oh.
I don't think I have anything in persuasion. Oh, I got a +1. Holy shit. Okay.
Look at you.
Yeah, big baller. Oh my god. Oh, no whammies. So 17.
He goes.
Ahoy.
Oh no, I'm sorry. That's 17.
He goes. "Okay, well, I know that my master has drafted a will. I'm not sure who would take over. I don't know if some far off family or if his daughter would take over. But that is all I know.
Okay. But what did you see? When I asked you about the last time you saw the victim and things like that. I mean, what did you see? What was you so nervous about?
He didn't go towards the washroom. The washroom is up the stairs on the second level. Well, he walked towards the main hall, and I'm not sure why he would be going that direction. But
That was the victim that walked towards the main hall.
yes. I'm not sure why he walked that direction, but I heard voices, and it sounded like he was talking to someone. I couldn't make out who or anything about the other voice, but he definitely was talking.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that. I do appreciate it. And don't worry. You don't have to worry about anything. We'll get to the bottom of this. Couple more questions. Let me just see. Do you have any? Do you know of any reasons why Martinelli would want to kill Arminus? Do you think he would have killed him?
I've never known Martinelli to get angry before. Lord Martinelli. Sorry, he said Lord. Lord Martinelli to get angry before. Not like this. I've seen him upset before, but never violent or. He doesn't even raise his voice at the servants if something happens.
Now, one last question, because I know servants are very, very keen. They keep an eye out on everything to meet their master's needs at the moment's notice. So they're very sharp, and they notice things that other people would not notice. Now, could you tell me, in this room, of the three people in this room, Did any of them leave before or after the victim left the room? Within moments of them leaving.
No, no one in this room.
Okay.
No, they all left. They all left before. No, no one in this room left. Sorry, strike that. I meant after.
Okay.
Caleb said the wrong word.
Now I've got one last question, and then I'll be on my way. Was anybody in this room wearing gloves? Like you know how ladies sometimes wear nice gloves, or gentlemen wear nice riding gloves or something like that. Were any of them wearing gloves earlier this morning? Early in the evening.
Not that I know of. Most people wouldn't wear gloves at this time of the year. It's a little bit.
I understand. I just thought I'd spitball and ask that question out here.
Yes. It's also not in fashion currently at this point.
Okay, I didn't know. So it was just something I came up with out of character. So,
Mhm.
okay. Okay. By the way, is the person in the hallway by the back door? Is that another guest member, or is that just some this person? I can't forget. It won't let me, but I don't think
The one in the hallway that's not a guard.
That person is not a guard.
Are they a guest?
You don't know.
Okay.
You would assume.
Okay. Well,
It's
then,
a safe assumption.
Okay, I would have turned next to this lady and asked some more questions. Basically, the questions I've been asking everybody else. Looking at her shoes, asking about where she was.
Well, yeah, I say Shekel was talking to her earlier, so you probably heard Shekel talking to her.
Okay. I do ask the servant one more thing. Where is the washroom on here? The washroom's upstairs, he said, and so is the upstairs that's south of the main hall is where
That's this. You see where I'm marking? That's the
Okay.
entrance to go to upstairs.
Okay, so that's the upstairs. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so that's what I needed. Okay, and then okay. Well, after that, I was gonna go out and talk to this guy next, but I'll let our Smails go. So
Yeah. Okay. So, main hall people. Anyone want to specifically do something or? Did y'all all stay here? As well, Boots, Azrael, and Shekel, or did some of you go with Gurkle or?
These guys.
I think I stayed here.
Those are nobles. They're random nobles. A couple of them are sitting. Some of them are sitting on like little stools on the outside. One of them staring out the window. They're they're kind of just they're like I said, they're nondescript. No, they're people from the party, and other people who were interested in the outcome of the case. Kind of.
They're potpourri.
They're people, people who know Arminius or people who know Martinelli, business partners, stuff like that, who kind of just arrived to their interested cases, interested parties.
I want to talk to this guy.
Okay. So he kind of nods at you when you come up to him. What would you like to say?
Hello. Were you here at the beginning of the event?
No, I arrived afterwards. I'm part of Arminius's. Well, I was part of his business. I'm here to see this through and to be able to discuss with the authorities the next step for his business. Since obviously, without him and no heir, there will be some difficult times ahead.
Would you happen to know anything about Martinelli wanting a better relationship with Arminius?
Well, they had in the past, year or two started to talk more. They never were enemies, but they were never friends. They were just opposites in business. But Martinelli's had reached out to Arminius a few times over the past couple years just to invite him over for parties. And over the past year, they've gotten more friendly. Uh, enough so that he came over at least once a month to party here hosted by Martinelli.
Would you know about some sort of
What was that? I'm sorry.
yeah, would you know about some sort of partnership that they were planning on doing?
There were certainly rumors, but I don't know any details.
Have you heard anything about uh, anyone roaming the hallway from any of the aristocratic people around here?
No, most of the people around here arrived after the fact, so honestly, they don't know that much. They know less than we probably do. Basically, what it is, the two on this side are kind of part of Martinelli's estate. The two on the right side and the three on the left are they're like minor nobles who work for either Martinelli or Arminius. They're kind of there to make sure, um, things move smoothly if people need things, stuff like that. They're kind of local, not lords, but they're local nobles of like minor houses. From what you could gather, just based on their appearance, they don't look as rich and affluent as, say, Martinelli's or Martinelli are the people in the room up top.
Okay, I'd like to talk to one of Martinelli's guys then. Maybe this one.
Okay.
You them?
Okay. Sure. Yes, may I help you?
Would you happen to know anyone that might have it out for Martinelli specifically?
Uh, well, I can't really say. Maybe Arminius. Well, not anymore.
It's not in very good taste.
Oh no, murder typically isn't.
So do you know anything about the two of them building like a better relationship and becoming business partners?
Martinelli had mentioned the idea to me, and I thought it pretty good. It seemed a good way to diversify income and to help expand the businesses, both of them, even further. As far as I know, he had not been able to discuss it with Arminius even further. I know he mentioned he wanted to talk to him tonight about it, or last night about it. Sorry.
Did Arminius seem interested in the idea?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he ever got the chance to tell him.
You don't know of anyone else who might have malicious intent toward Martinelli?
None. He's a good business partner to work with, and he's always been a fair man, fair and just man.
Did it seem like he had anything out for Arminius?
Even if I thought he did, you think I'd say something?
I'm not here to point either which direction.
Neither am I. And he goes back to drinking.
Lame.
He works for Martinelli. He's probably not going to tell you too much.
Who's this person?
That's the daughter.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. From here,
Yeah.
she's a ninja.
Jesus.
Oh my god.
Jeez.
Thank you. It's
then-
like a ninja zoomed in like that.
Martinelli.
Prince Robert?
Boots. What about you? What are you doing, Boots?
I'd like to talk to the daughter.
Certainly.
Um,
She's kind of sitting there dabbing tears away. Um,
I ask if I could speak to her away from the group and her father.
she kind of looks at you and her father and goes, "Well, why, of course. If there's anything I could do to help, please lead the way. I just go wherever you want. I'm over."
Okay, I'm just gonna go into this hall over here. Nowhere too far.
Okay.
Punch,
Azrael
punch,
Shekel, are
punch.
you staying back or what are you doing?
I'm gonna awkwardly listen in where I am.
Well, you won't be able to hear them. They're way over here,
I'm gonna move closer enough.
closer enough.
She's going to use the elongated ears she bought in a wizard shop.
Extendable ears. Azrael, you see Boots leaving, so you go with her. Him and
Yeah.
her. Okay. Shekel, you're going to the doorway? You said right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Boots.
I know this must be hard for you.
Yes, I never would have expected something like this to have happened.
We're just covering all of our bases. Where were you when everything happened?
Where was I? Well, I was in the dining room.
And you exited when when everyone heard the scuffle?
Well, no, I thought one of the servants had dropped something. But a couple people walked down into the hall and they started screaming something, and then everyone else started running. I'm afraid I couldn't get through the door to really see. Hello?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm thinking.
Okay. It just got quiet. I was like,
Yeah, I'm sorry. Um, was there anything that had transpired through the night that seemed off about your father?
no, everything seemed to be going well. He wanted to talk with Arminius about a possible business exchange. He might not have agreed with working with Arminius, but not due to his business ability. Just I think that my father could have done better without him. Um, but those aren't concessions that I'm, of course, allowed to make. Or concessions? Oh, concessions is the right word.
I think I know what you mean still, so you're fine.
Hmm.
Um,
I was reading somebody's message. Same time.
um,
So you wouldn't have wanted your father to go into a partnership?
Me personally, no. I think that my father had a great business, and I feel like partnering would have split profits more, and I feel like he, in the long run, wouldn't have made as much money. But that's just what I believe. I've brought this up to my father before, but he, of course, won't see any of it. It's not my place.
you seem to have quite the education to make those kinds of decisions or observations.
Well, of course, I do want to take over this place eventually. Um, once I'm married and very long from now, 30 years, I would like to take over, and do believe that's my father's plan. I'm not sure. I would hope so to keep it in the family, but uh, other than that, I can't say as much about the current business. Uh, he lets me know some, but he doesn't let me make the decisions, of course.
Is there anyone else he would give it over to besides you?
Not that I know of. Maybe a far off cousin, but we haven't spoken to any of them in years, so I can't see that happening.
So it's likely you'll inherit the place if you were gone. I see. I'm sorry, I'm trying to think of things.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I'll give you all a minute to think. Nick, Gurkle's actions. What's Gurkle doing right now?
So I walk down back here, to go unlock the desk drawer with the key that Martinelli gave me.
Yes. It does open, and in the drawer you see some. It opens about. It opens about 7 inches, out of the desk, and you see some papers and like little books and stuff like that there. A coin pouch or two. You know, nothing massive, but it does have some coin and stuff in there.
Okay, but nothing that like either sticks out or nothing like of importance, really, right?
Would you like to try and figure it out, or like what is
Yeah,
Gurgle doing?
yeah.
What is Gurgle looking for specifically?
Uh, Kind of specifically want to try to see if there's any record of any type of potential partnership.
There does seem to be a letter on top of one of the piles of paper, that you do notice without even having to really look. There is a letter there that is addressed to Arminius.
Okay. Can I go ahead and open it and read it?
Sure, yeah. It details a bunch of business plans and give me a second. Let me look at something real quick. Yes, your intelligence is 7. Looks like a lot of numbers and words, but Martinelli sounds nice in it.
Okay.
For the drawer, go ahead and roll a perception check.
Seven, you said perception?
Yep.
And it's a +1. So 8 in total.
The drawer itself, it confuses you, but you don't know why.
Okay.
Something about the drawer just feels off. That's all you can tell.
Okay. Where's my mouse? Okay, there we go. I'm gonna go ahead and move back into kind of the main room and kind of like rejoin the group and just inform them what I found, both about the letter and the drawer.
Okay.
I would recommend that we maybe look a little bit further into that.
What is Maria wearing again?
She's wearing like a nice dress, like whatever color this is. I was gonna say burgundy, but I think
Like
it's burgundy.
burgundy.
It's like a burgundy, right? It's like a pinkish burgundy. Wearing
Sure.
that's the color. She doesn't exactly look like that. She's wearing a nice dress like that with a gold necklace, and some rings, and some bracelets, some gloves, and you can see indentations of rings underneath the gloves. But yeah, Gurgle
Is
does
it-
clean that up. She
is
does
Is
when she
any of
hears-
what she's? I'm sorry.
I was gonna say when Gurgle does arrive in the room and talk about what he found, she does kind of get quiet for a moment. She goes, I'm gonna go rejoin my father. I really do want to be there for him, and she does leave out of the room.
Is any of what she was wearing odd to me?
The boots.
Would I make an invest? Okay.
You can make an investigation check if you would like, but
Yeah. Gonna make an investigation check into that. Give me a second. I'm just looking at my
I'm not
stats.
sure. It'd have to be pretty high because I'm not sure if Boots is exactly fashion knowledgeable since he doesn't wear clothes.
Well, that's a 7. So nope.
It looks
You
pretty.
have inspiration, so you can do it again if you want.
Yeah. I'm not.
All right. It looks pretty.
Okay.
It is aesthetically pleasing to your